Mic check.
All right.
You guys want to give
Putting
me
these things on?
check? Yeah, yeah. Can you hear?
Yep.
Nice. Only thing is, reverse.
Oh,
Yeah.
backwards. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Appreciate it, bro. All right, we are here with Infused Influence. We're live streaming right now, though. So for our viewers online, just know that we are going to get into our show in our regular format, and we're joined with our guest today, and we'll do the full introduction once we get through our, I guess, our tech here. So, right, Rayvon?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a little different, bro.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the
That's
yeah.
it. That's it. It's
That's
just
it.
an introduction, just like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So let's run it. Let's run into the show.
What up, y'all? You're now listening to Infused Influence, where we're infused by weed culture, cannabis business, and its politics through conversations with special guests. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
All right. Infuse Influence for the radio. What's up? What's up, Rayvon?
Specifically for the radio.
Specifically for the radio,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
How are you, man?
We're doing okay, man. It's a gloomy day out there, so that's good stuff. I'm saying that I think that makes the day like an 8. You feel me?
Okay.
How about yourself, sir?
Yeah, pretty solid, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not too hot, I guess, man. You know, it's
Yeah.
almost summertime.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate it not being too hot. You know what I mean?
I'm loving the weather.
All right. I know. We know you are, bro.
Come on now. Come on now.
What's up with our guest today, bro?
We have a very special guest today. We have one of our neighbors essentially in the building. I don't want to butcher her last name, so I'm gonna hand it off to you.
Oh,
because
word?
I think you might know it better than I do.
Well, I don't think it's hard.
I don't think it's hard either, but I don't want to get it wrong and be wrong.
It's Moreno, right?
Very close.
I was gonna say Mariana.
It's Mariano.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh,
I should've said it.
Mariano.
Well, we should preface it by saying her name is Victoria
Victoria.
Mariano. Welcome to the show.
Yes,
Thanks
yes.
for having me. Happy to be
course.
here.
AKA Miss Electric Haze. No one calls you that.
I'm not sure they call me Miss Electric Haze, but there's a lot of stuff having to do with the haze.
Yeah. Miss Haze. Maybe Vic or Vic from the Haze.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen, my missed call on someone's phone, and it almost always has haze in it.
Haze in it? Yeah. No, that's what's up. She's a legend, bro. She's a legend in these streets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
Come on now.
You missed a little talk with her and Lori. Oh, as we were talking last week, preparing for this week, he was just dropping those nostalgic moments.
Like, yeah, knowing the old work. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, we call them OG hazers.
Yeah.
When they're very familiar with spiritual
haze, dude. And only I know because you told me about it, and then I brought it up to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah." Confirmed.
Yeah. Spiritual haze.
For real. Let's clap it up for Victoria again, guys. For those who know in the Worcester community, she's a force. Happy to have you as a neighbor.
Power to be
For real.
reckoned with.
What'd you say?
Power to be reckoned with.
For real. For real. So yeah, thanks for joining us today. This is the first time that you're on it.
Yeah,
I think, right?
I'm happy to be here.
Ye-
And you guys are the best neighbors, so
Oh.
I love to be here.
Dude, yeah, honestly. Like sometimes I'm just like, man, I don't have to leave this neighborhood. You know, you can go down the street, you get some Vietnamese food, and go check out your bar. You know, I do miss the hot dog stand.
No. It's funny, there's just an incredible amount of great places to eat in our neighborhood.
Right.
But people do miss the hot dog
For
stand.
real. I mean, it was right there at, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
When touring artists ask me, like, oh, where should I go to eat?
Right.
I'm like, the list's like a mile long. I'm really not sure,
Right.
here's 20 of them. Pick what kind of food you like.
No,
you
for
know?
sure. But then when the hot dog stand was there, they didn't have to ask. They just knew that there was a spot next door. Like,
Yeah, it's funny when you have the convenience of next door, it's hard to
right.
get anything but
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah.
there's, because then it's anything over next door is a trip.
Yeah, for real. Like you have to think about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to just like, all right, it's here.
Or you fit it in your schedule. Like if
Right.
it's a trip, you gotta fit it in your schedule. But when it's next door, you
Right.
don't think about timing.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I mean, you guys had it lined up out there.
But it's coming back, not Hot Dog Alley, but
It is.
I'm-
Is it really?
yeah, I'm doing it. Not Hot Dog
Oh.
Alley, they're gone.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the food place next door is coming back.
So you taking it over?
I'm taking it over.
Yo, that's what's up, dude.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yep.
That's what's up, dude. What are you gonna do?
It's called Pizza Shark,
That's what's up.
and it's New York style slices.
Yo, that's what's
It's
up.
gonna be sick.
So,
That's
well,
what's up.
I love Kelly Square Pizza, and I will likely still get Kelly Square Pizza from time to time.
Right.
Growing up in New York, the slice culture is just something totally different.
Right, right.
You know, similar to Hot Dog Alley, where there's this nice line and it's something quick and cheap.
right, right.
It's that same kind of
Yeah,
concept
that's
where
what's up.
we'll be open late. Past the bars closing, so people can come and grab a slice after the bars.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
during the bars, whatever. I really like Antonio slices. I get that a lot, but they
Oh,
close
yeah.
at 11 p.m.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, and it's also not right next door to Electric Haze.
Right, right.
I always thought our customers would go and get the different things in the neighborhood because there's so many options. So
Right.
I wanted to support all the local food, which we have. A lot of our customers do go out and get it, but
Absolutely.
a lot of them just don't eat. You know, they're like,
Yeah.
they'll just like, I'll just have a couple extra beers, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, you probably should eat
No,
something.
it's true. Well, the thing is too is that those great food places that you just mentioned in the neighborhood within a mile. I mean, they traditionally also close at like 10 or 11. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Except for like
Yeah.
Mai Tais, bro, which is
Yeah.
like just about a mile away.
It's a
you know what I
journey.
mean? A little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's doable, you
Yeah.
know, but like no one really wants to do that.
Not
you
when
know
you're
what I mean?
drunk at 12
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah, for real,
Yeah.
bro. You're for real. You know what I mean?
That's it's one thing if you're having a bar crawl night where you're planning on
Right.
hopping from place to place, but if you're specifically doing a show at Electric Haze and you don't want to like
Right.
miss a set or a song,
Yeah.
then you're just not gonna eat.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
No, you're right. You're right, and you need to
Yeah,
instead
exactly.
of drinking a little bit more.
Yeah.
Is there
Exactly.
like a timeline for when that might open up?
Yeah, I'm shooting for mid-August.
Dope.
Nice.
So.
Dope.
Okay, that's what's
Yeah.
up. I think we got our anniversary.
That lines up perfectly with
That
it.
does.
Yeah, it should be open for your anniversary, which
I
which
think
we
it's
got
the
a
ninth.
plan
I think
too.
it's the ninth.
Yeah. Well, by
Okay.
then we'll have tested and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what's up. Wow. So we should probably like Rayvon, you want to give it a shot, a formal introduction, bro? Like, what do you know about Victoria, bro? I mean, we just dive
yeah.
right into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what I know about Victoria is that I hear a lot about your community engagement and you being a real force in this neighborhood. I've heard about the spiritual haze, which I guess maybe too young and too out of touch to probably have known about.
Wait, time out. What year was that?
Spiritual Haze was 2007. I was a senior at Clark.
Yeah, Rayvon was in
I
kindergarten.
was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Wow, time flies.
Yeah, time flies. And so I know of the Electric Haze. In fact, I knew of it even prior to kind of working here at Major. I'm a Worcester transplant. I've been living here for about 5, close to 6 years. Wow, almost 6 years now.
He's a different kind of transplant, though.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he
and
didn't
so-
go to college here. Like
Yeah,
Oh,
I just got
I love
stuck
it.
here.
Stuck here.
And so for me, I've heard about the place. I've had friends do shows there. I've seen stuff there, and then I came here, and like we do so much with you guys. And there's always an event, something to do with the community, with an artist. There's different installments in there every month. And so this is the long way of me saying it's extremely community oriented, and really, again, just like the night markets you guys do every weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot that you guys do, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Thanks. Yeah,
Oh, so-
you hit a lot of things.
And that's just
great.
the haze. And I
Right.
know that your work goes
She's got a
deeper
new,
than
yeah.
what
She's
you
got
do
like a
from the
new
haze.
hat, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the haze though. So like, where for the community, like where did it come from? Obviously, we talk about spiritual haze a little bit. So like, yeah, I'd love to hear the story.
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. So, Spiritual Haze actually was my entrepreneurship capstone project while I was going to school at Clark. I was an entrepreneurship minor, and it was actually the first year the entrepreneurship program ever started.
That's amazing.
So the founder of the program was our professor, and so we were the first graduating class of the program. And I always knew I wanted to open a business, and I was planning on doing it back in Albany, but I presented my idea in the capstone course and ended up getting 3 different classmates that wanted to work on it with me. So I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna try to launch this thing in college. And so the concept was, a social mission based on providing a really safe and positive environment for college students. When you're going to school, like you have your dorm room and a coffee shop maybe, and whatever college events they have on campus, but as an under 21 person in Massachusetts, it's impossible to go out at night. The only place you could go when I was going to school at Clark, if you had a good enough fake ID,
Leitrim's?
was probably Leitrim's. But we used to go to Club Red and Club Blue.
Club Red!
Yeah.
On Pleasant Street.
That's right.
Pleasant Street.
That's right. And the door guy was friends with some of our friends, so he would let us in. But, it was loud. We had fun, but it was loud, and you couldn't really meet anybody.
Right.
It wasn't necessarily a positive environment. It was like you might get roofied.
Right.
You might have someone trying to go home with you that you don't want to go home with you.
Oh, my goodness.
But, at least you could go out. And so, we really wanted a place that all of the different colleges could actually meet each other, actually have conversations, a place that we could have a lot of fun, but the cops wouldn't come banging on the door.
Right.
Because we try to have house parties and the neighbor calls, cops come, break it up. It's like impossible to get together outside of college. And so that kind of core concept in mind, we came up with a business model. All right, what products can we sell to create our place and have it make money and pay rent? And so there wasn't a hookah lounge in Worcester at the time. There was no hookah lounge, even though a whole bunch of us on campus loved hookah, smoked hookah all over campus.
Right.
So we decided hookah lounge was going to be our primary source of income, but we also wanted a health food cafe. One of our classmates wanted to start a health food cafe, so we kind of merged his idea in with ours.
Right.
And then entertainment has always been a focal point in my life since I was 14. I've always put on shows at my house and supported live music, so that was, of course, was included too.
That's amazing. So when you say the hookah lounge, is it by way of regulations that there weren't any? Was it illegal then, or it just wasn't any?
To my knowledge, no one ever proposed doing it. So there wasn't actually a permit for it yet.
Really?
And so I had some pro bono lawyer advice and as a college student, and he advised me through the zoning board process.
Right.
And so I went when I was 19 years old and pitched the zoning board to allow hookah lounges for the first time ever.
Crazy. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, so you're the first person to bring hookah to Worcester?
That's right.
Yo, the crowd goes wild, bro. Yo, I had no idea. Even though I've heard the story before, I didn't. That's just crazy, bro.
Yep.
Because there's a ton of them now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, so there was apparently a bunch of different entrepreneurs who wanted to do a hookah lounge, but didn't want to go and do the process. And so once I opened, they all came to Spiritual Haze and they're like, "Oh, we were waiting for you to get the permit. Now we can get it. Go, thank you." You know? So right after that, another one had opened, which was actually great because I didn't do any marketing.
Right.
All of my marketing was word of mouth.
Right.
And so they put a ton of money. I remember her name still, Florina. She put a ton of money into marketing.
Yeah.
And it actually double or tripled my business because she taught people what hookah was. Because the first hookah lounge in Worcester, you had to do a lot of advertising to show what it is. Because it never had existed in Worcester before. So I kind of dropped the ball on that when I opened. But the competitor actually did it for me, and it ended up driving a lot of business to us.
Where were you located, and where was Florin, you said her name?
Florina. Yeah, she was on Pleasant Street. I think it was called the International Lounge, the last one that was there. It's right next to Club Red, or where Creed is now. What used to be Club Red and Blue at the time.
Dude, I can't believe you remember that.
And then I was on Clark campus. I was on Park Ave, but it was within our map, our Clark
Gotcha.
campus map.
Yeah.
Because we were seniors, you know, when it launched, so we had to be able to walk to class still
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything.
What street? What street? I mean,
Park Ave.
Oh,
It was
Park.
Park Ave.
Oh,
Yep.
right. Was it? It's hookah's 18 plus, right?
Yeah, so I mean, and that was the whole point. It was supposed to be a place for college-age students, and which at that time tobacco was 18 plus.
Right.
So yeah, it was a place where really, truly, all of the colleges gathered, and everyone, again, being confused about what a hookah lounge was. Everyone thought it was cannabis. So we had to teach everybody it's not cannabis.
Right.
It's flavored tobacco. What you do outside, you know, is your business, but you know, it's still illegal here because that time it was still very illegal. You know, students especially could get their at that time could get their scholarships revoked if they were caught smoking cannabis. But everyone would ask, you know, well, you know, can we do cannabis here? And our response was never just no. It was no, but if it becomes legal someday, we definitely want to incorporate that.
Absolutely.
That's kind of one of the reasons why I always put Hayes in the name.
Yeah, no, for sure. Here we are, almost 20 years later, and they're still trying to figure it out.
I know.
But yeah, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna play a game during this break with Vic, and we'll be right back. All right. So Victoria, we have a game for you,
All right.
and for our live streamers here. And the game is, we probably should have gave you the heads up. Maybe you would have studied a little bit. But maybe you'll do amazing. You don't need to study. You just be like, bam, bam, bam. Okay, so the game is name as many cannabis strains as you can in 1 minute. Do you think you can do that?
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so you ready, Rayvon?
Yep.
Rayvon's going to keep track of the time, and I am going to count. All right?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Blue Dream, Gorilla Glue. Sorry. I do know a million, but my brain wasn't ready for it.
It's okay.
Let's see. Purple Haze. Sheesh, there's so many now. It's
Yeah, I know.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. You got 3 right now.
and
Halfway there.
And then let's see, Mac one.
Yes. Ooh, that's a great one.
The Silver Haze. There's a million different haze strains.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I'm sure there's a cookies and cream.
There is. Yeah.
And then sheesh, I'm trying to think of this one that's like there's so many different candy ones. Candy?
Candy Margie.
Okay.
We'll give you that one. You got 7.
Candy store.
Candy
That one?
store?
I don't know.
Corner store candy is one, yeah.
Ah, I got you. Yeah. So not bad. Not bad. You got 7. The record is
31.
31.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a tough game when you put on the spot. No lie. Well, you did great. All right, so let's get back into the show. Rayvon, if you want to give the introduction, that's cool.
Yo, welcome back to Infused Influence. I'm your co-host, Rayvon. I've got my co-host, Ulysses, with me, and a special guest, Victoria, of course.
Victoria.
Hey.
If you missed the first half of the episode, we were chatting a little bit about her background, talking about spiritual haze and how that came about from a college capstone, how that turned into a real project here and actually brought the first hookah license to Worcester.
That's crazy. Who was your professor?
George Gendron. He was one of the founders of Inc. magazine and a whole bunch of other magazines and businesses. And he founded a bunch of different entrepreneurship programs in different colleges throughout the country.
Shout out to George
Gendron.
Gendron. Shout out to George.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And Victoria just named 7 OG strains.
They were all OG, bro.
Yeah, they were all OG strains. That's pretty dope. Oh, man. And so for you, after Spiritual Haze, so how long did that go on for?
So Spiritual Haze was open from 2007 until 2016.
Wow.
And then in 2013, we opened Electric Haze. because we were getting kind of two kinds of customers.
Oh, so you had both? You had both of them
Both at the same
together?
time for a
Oh, I
while.
didn't know that.
Yeah, we were, Spiritual Haze was actually opened we converted an apartment into a lounge, so it felt like a home.
Yeah.
And so we'd naturally get a lot of people wanting to go and relax and chat, but then because of fun bands and stuff that we booked, we'd get a lot of people that wanted to come and kind of dance and party a little bit more. And we did attract all ages, even though it was primarily college age. So we ended up opening Electric Haze to kind of split the crowds. Have the 21 plus party scene over there at Electric, and then the more relaxed vibe, chill people at Spiritual Haze.
Right. What's the capacity, or what was the capacity?
It was technically 35 seats.
Oh
but
my goodness! And you had bands there.
it was yeah. It's closed now, so I can say it. But it was like at least 100 people there at once.
Oh my
with
goodness!
Shows.
Yeah.
And lines around the door. I mean, it was
That's
just constantly flipping
crazy.
people in and out. And funny enough, our neighbor at Spiritual Haze, who would call the cops on us like every day, and the cops would come and be like, "I know you guys are good kids and
Right.
following all the rules, so I don't know why he keeps calling cops on you."
Right.
He'd just come and say hi and leave. But then he ended up being my neighbor at Electric Haze too.
No.
And just the other day, he comes and like gives me a scowl for the Electric Avenue Market. The first day we were open, he comes over. He's like, "What is this?" He
Who is it?
scowls at me and walks away.
Who is it? Do I know?
I don't know. Should I say it on
Yeah,
air?
you should, dude.
Okay, the Patsy Dugan
Oh,
owner.
Pat! Honestly, when you were saying it, it like came to mind. I almost knew it.
Yeah, he hated us at Spiritual Haze.
You guys are cool now.
And no, I don't think so.
Though.
He came over and gave me a scowl at the Electric Avenue Market.
The scowl tells me that's
Yeah,
all
dude, he just comes over.
This is like last week,
He
right?
co- yeah, it was like, he comes over like stomping over, and he was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And we're like, "An artisan market?"
Yeah.
And like, it's always something like so sweet and innocent.
Right.
He gets so mad about it, and it's just so confusing. Like,
He's like, "You got permits for this?" Yeah.
and he used to do the same thing to me at Spiritual Haze all the time. He almost punched me in the face once.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
This breaks my heart.
Yeah, it's like, what? Why are you so
Yeah.
angry, dude? We're
Yeah.
like, we're doing stuff that's good for the community. Like,
Right. We're above board, bro.
yeah.
Yeah. Damn. I wish you guys could bend the relationship. We're neighbors here.
I was always super nice to him, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
just doesn't like me. I don't know.
That's
But
tough.
anyway, so the Electric Haze opened while Spiritual Haze was open. The crowds kind of split. College age 21 plus, but then they changed the tobacco age to 21 plus.
Oh yeah, when was that?
That was the year after we closed because we attempted to be open for a year and it just didn't work. It was just it was 2016.
So it impacted business.
Well, it was geared towards college students.
Yeah.
So everyone
Yeah.
was under 21 trying to come in, and it was just
Right.
heartbreaking telling
Right.
everyone they couldn't come in.
Right,
You know,
right.
because it was the one place all the college kids could go and
Right.
meet each other, and we couldn't let them in anymore.
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
that's tough. I mean, not even just like sections. So basically, your permit or your license was the entire building.
Smoking bar permits, that's right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because the smoke
Yeah.
is in the air.
Right.
Um,
Wow, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You used to be able to smoke and be pregnant at the same time.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah, well, and it just, it's just sad because then they just had really nothing to do. I mean, and
Right.
kids over 18 going to school, they want something cool to do.
Right.
And it's got to be a little bit bad,
Yeah.
like.
No, I feel you. A little
um,
risque.
yeah, so the hookah filled that,
Right.
even if kids came and didn't smoke, it was just like it was cool enough to hang out with their friends,
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
But-
So can I ask you said you got Electric Haze in 16 or 13?
13.
So were you aware that there was going to be change to regulations that was going to be changing from 18 to 21?
It came with zero warning.
Really?
It just, all of a sudden, it
All of
was
a sudden.
changed.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's good. I guess unintentionally, but like you were probably led that way to Electric Haze by way of spirit.
Yeah.
like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
just in
yeah.
preparation, like, oh, this is gonna be. But obviously, you know, your capacity is there's like 240, right?
Yeah,
Something
good
like
memory.
that. Yeah, yeah. So like, way bigger space. You know what I mean? Obviously, you got the bar there, and like the art. Oh my goodness, I love always seeing like the new art. One of my favorite pieces is I think it was like a, I don't want to say octopus, but it was like a jellyfish.
Our jellyfish from the ceiling.
Is it
Yeah.
still there? It's
Oh
not
yeah.
there. It is there, right?
That
Yeah.
one's ours. My co-owner Eric made that actually.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Yes, yeah, we always add new stuff with art. But
sure.
now the Electric Avenue Market is where the art
Yeah.
focal point is because
Absolutely.
we have different artists come to that every week.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so every summer is always kind of a bummer because you have to stay inside and it's nice out and everyone wants to be outside.
Right.
So this year, thanks to your Major Bloom's help,
Oh, wrap it up.
really appreciated their sponsorship.
Oh, I'll tell you,
It's huge.
we turned down probably like 3 other ones. We're like, nah, we're just gonna try this new thing here locally in our neighborhood, because you know there's a ton of other stuff. Like,
Always,
you know,
always.
you know. So
Cool thing about Worcester is
Yeah.
there's so many opportunities.
there is, but nothing like this one specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them are just like the stuff that they've been doing for 30, 40 years.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I'd rather, you know.
Yeah, do something new. And,
Yes, yes.
And that's the whole thing. I think it's funny because I had it in my head for so long before I went to the license commission. I think that I was just expecting it to be like understood right away
Right.
because I understood it so well.
Right,
But then
right.
they were kind of thrown back. They were like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, like the whole street every week. And there was
Yeah.
a little bit of a convincing that needed to happen because it hadn't happened before. There's been street closures, of course, in Worcester, but
Right.
nothing every week.
Every week, yeah.
And we're doing this for 16 weeks,
Yeah.
mid-May through September. And so I think it's just, everyone always talks about, there really needs to be a little bit more of a walking district or a street closure or
Right.
something.
Right.
And nobody does it,
Right.
It's kind of the same thing with hookah lounges. Everyone's like, where's the hookah lounge? So, I'm a fan of doing stuff rather than talking about it forever.
Yeah.
And so, there was so much talk from the city manager's office, from the cultural department about really wanting a street closure. And then for us, we're an indoor venue, it doesn't have any outdoor space whatsoever.
Right.
So when we tried to shut the street down last year for the Pride after party and it went so smoothly, we were like, oh, wow, this is a real opportunity here.
You shot the street down last year for the
For the Pride after party.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We had DJs and go-go dancers, and it was more of like a dance
Missed
party
it.
in the street than it was what this concept is.
Right.
But it gave us a taste of what it's like to shut the street down, and which showed me I can do this every week.
Absolutely.
But this is a little bit more geared towards showcasing our artists, because during the daytime there's a lot of people walking around for the ballpark, and we have some daytime shows as well. But we also have nighttime shows. And so I think between our shows, the natural traffic around the Canal District and our neighborhood and the ballpark saw an opportunity for artists to be able to sell stuff, especially with the loss of Start on the Street this year.
Oh yeah. This is the first year.
They're just looking for other more consistent opportunities. And I think that this could be something that happens every year.
It should. What I love about it, of course, it's a novel idea. Logistically, though, it is almost nearly perfect because there's like no crazy detour. It's like, all right, just go around and cut through. And it's almost like, Carpenter Street used to be, it used to be called Carpenter Street, the liquor store.
Yep.
But it's not a street anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somehow it just got shut off as being a street, and now it's a parking lot really for the liquor store, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, logistically, it's perfect. So,
Yeah.
I can't imagine, was there any pushback from the neighbors or any people that in the community?
Just grumpy
I
Pat.
can think of one.
Oh,
yeah.
my
Grumpy
goodness.
Pat.
Don't tell me
He didn't push anything
Oh, okay.
back at all. He just stomped. I know the look because I saw it at Spiritual Haze for freaking 9 years.
Yeah, but did he show up to, like, meetings? Like,
No,
because you have
no.
to have a public hearing.
I don't think he
Oh, okay.
understood that it was even at the public.
All right,
I bet
cool.
he would have.
Well, he's probably not even in a butter.
It would be close.
It's-
It would be close. He
yeah.
may not be.
He may not
Yeah,
be, because
yeah.
how far the distance did you have to notify?
Yeah.
know?
Actually, we didn't have to notify.
Oh, you didn't?
anybody.
Oh, no doubt. Okay.
Well, they just told me to notify people.
Yeah, yeah.
Which the neighbors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rayvon's like, she didn't notify anyone.
No. Well, that's different than sending letters to abutters.
Right.
That's two different processes.
Right.
So talking to your direct neighbors who are impacted is definitely something I did.
Yes. Which
but
really is just the gym
it's two people.
and you.
There's two landlords that own the buildings that touch that
Right.
property. So I just
Right.
talked to both.
Right.
And both of them were extremely encouraging about it.
Absolutely.
And one of them owns the lot behind so the gym owns the lot behind as well.
Right.
And they let us put a porta potty there. So they were encouraging and lend us space for it.
So are people actually, are you utilizing indoor haze space as well during these?
Yeah, so it depends on the week. Obviously, every week we have different shows. But if there's a show indoors, people will go kind of in and out between the block party and the haze. But if people are really just there to shop the vendors and aren't going to a show inside the haze, then we wanted to have a porta potty accessible outside.
Gotcha. No,
Especially if there's kids.
Yeah.
And they're smoking hookah inside.
Yeah.
We don't want to let them in.
No, that makes sense. Speaking of kids, so I coach my kids' soccer team every Saturday.
Okay.
At 8 o'clock in the morning. And the craziest thing about this season is that it's rained every Saturday for the last 8 weeks, dude.
We got pretty screwed on the weather so far.
Wild.
It's not good.
I've never seen anything like that. You
I
know what I
know.
mean?
I know.
So it's just.
And for vendors, it's the worst because a lot of them can't even come.
Right.
Because their art is
you don't
so
wanna ruin it.
fragile.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't super rainy, it was super windy.
Right.
And I mean, there was one vendor, poor freaking McWavy. His art just kept flying in the
Oh, my
air one
goodness.
week, and we're like, oh
Yeah,
crap!
yeah.
Pack up.
Yeah.
Don't risk your art here.
No, for sure. It's almost unprecedented, how weird it is that as soon as Saturday morning hits, you know what I mean?
Well, this Saturday is supposed to be perfect.
It's supposed to be nice, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a testament to just keep pushing forward because it's all right, well, in history, it's probably never been a time like this where literally it rains every Saturday for 2 months straight.
In 14 weeks.
Yo, just
14 Saturdays.
every Saturday, right?
Saturday.
How do you know that, bro?
Oh, social media.
Yeah. This is Rayvon's type of weather.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He loves it. Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna take a break for this week. Let's clap it up for Victoria again. And this is for our radio listeners for sure, because we do 30-minute segments or so. But we're gonna take a break and then jump right back into it for next week's episode. And there's a lot that we haven't covered yet, so you know what I mean. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying, right? So thank you for joining, and we'll keep it going.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, for sure. You guys have just been infused. Peace.
What up, y'all? You're now listening to Infused Influence, where we're infused by weed culture, cannabis business, and its politics through conversations with special guests. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
All right, we are back with another episode of Infused Influence. I'm your co-host Ulysses, and of course, as always, we have the it wasn't 6 man of the year anymore. It's the most clutch player.
Most clutch, yeah.
Most
clutch player of the year. Award, yeah.
Clutch player of the year. Rayvon's here. What's up,
What's
Rayvon?
going on, young man? How you doing?
Chilling, man. How are you, bro?
You know, man, we're loving the weather.
Yeah, that's
We're
what's
really
up.
loving the weather.
So this 14 weeks, bro. It's all you.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's great. You know what it's like to wake up on a Saturday and have your plans naturally ruined by the rain? It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kick back, go back to bed.
You said your plants naturally watered.
Ruined, yeah.
Oh,
You know what I'm
ruined.
saying?
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's too much water.
Oh, well, no, I mean my plans, not
Oh,
plants.
plants. I
yeah.
thought you said plants.
Oh, no,
I thought
no,
you said
yeah.
I heard
plants.
plants.
Oh, that's funny. Well, every Saturday you wake up and be like, man, the plants really needed this. But yeah, nah, you know, you wake up and you're like, oh man, it's raining. That thing I was gonna do, not doing it anymore.
Right.
Depending on what it may be. So yeah, you know,
Yeah.
not too bad, not too bad. But of course, per usual, we have a special guest with us. Welcome back to the show, Victoria Mariano.
Ooh,
Great
he
to have
got
you.
it.
Thank
Come
you
on
for
now.
having me.
He was
Great
practicing
job.
in his head.
Great
I was
job.
on it.
Yeah.
I was on it. You feel me?
that's
And
what's
for
up.
those who may or may not remember, Victoria was here with us last week. We talked a lot about spiritual haze, electric haze, a little bit of, you know, running around. I don't want to say running around the streets of Worcester, but these two know places I just never even heard of before in my life, which is natural, I guess. But today we'd like to get more into, you know, some of the new roles that you may be getting into, a little bit more into potential of your cannabis consumption. And I'll kind of let you take it away from there. I mean, in terms of a new role, I'm a little weary to that as well. I know you guys kind of talked
Yeah.
about it off air, but
Dude,
I
I don't know. I don't know either.
I know a little bit.
It's cool.
but
It's
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
cool.
I got this one. For over 2 years now, I've been the
No.
yes.
Yo.
I know it flew. It
For
flew.
real?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. I've been the program director for the Downtown Worcester Business Improvement District. So we focus on like a 4x5 block radius surrounding City Hall. And it's essentially, our goal is to make downtown Worcester a more vibrant, safe, welcoming, and economically viable downtown Worcester. So as the program director, I'm in charge of public events, public art, Clean and Safe Team, which is our ambassador program, which cleans and takes care of the entire district, the Flowers program, and anything new that we might do. We do a wayfinding program where we do stickers on the sidewalk to show you how far everything is.
Oh.
We partner with the Canal District on that one the last 2 years. Yeah, it's an incredible concept. I hadn't heard of a business improvement district before I got the job. But it's so many things that I love in all these different places around the country and the world. I found out were programs of business improvement districts.
Right.
So essentially, they just make an area, they supplement kind of city work, basically. So where, you know, the city might have a once a week schedule for picking up trash, we're doing it every day. If they do an event 4 times a year, we're doing events every week. It's like enhancing features of a government, essentially,
Absolutely.
and working alongside them.
Well, one thing you mentioned was the radius. It was a 4x.
It's 4x5 blocks, so surrounding City Hall.
Is 4x5 blocks. What is that in miles?
It's 78 acres.
Okay.
So
it's probably not even a mile then.
long, probably
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. 4
Yeah.
blocks.
Yeah.
What are the? Can you name some of the streets
The
where it
boundaries?
stops? Yeah.
Sure. And you can actually, if you just walk, you can tell the boundaries because it goes from nothing being on the ground whatsoever
goodness,
to
yeah.
everything back on the ground.
Please tell me where.
Like,
I mean, I can almost picture it right now,
yeah.
but
So it's Myrtle Street, and then McGrath, Foster, and Main.
gotcha.
But on Main, we do both sides. We just don't go beyond the buildings on the other side.
Okay.
So it's, but it covers a big area.
Right.
And it's it's a lot for a small team.
Mm.
But
How many people you have in the team?
we have 4 full-timers
Mm-hmm.
and some interns and part-time, depending on what's happening that year.
Right. That's pretty cool. What were some of the cities that you've seen that also had a business development?
Pretty much any tourist area
Really?
you could possibly think of. All of the things that you go to do there are business improvement districts.
Wow.
I mean, there's, I think, 3 in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
In New York City, there's maybe 20.
Right.
Nashville, I mean, any major tourist area, a lot of the stuff that, tourists see is from an improvement district.
Mm.
I mean, it's all over the place. I go to Montreal all the time. A lot of the events I found out they have a lot to do with.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my favorite public art that I've encountered in Montreal, I'm now working with here.
Yeah.
The placemaking companies that focus purely on bids. We're actually getting a delivery today after this from a company from Montreal that's going to do a sculpture of a palm tree, and you crank you do a little crank, and it'll start misting from the leaves.
Oh, it's crazy.
So we're
Where's the water supply coming from?
So we're bringing that to the Common for our Out to Lunch Festival and Farmers Market series.
Yeah.
Because last year it was super hot, and I had attempted to buy a couple misting fans, and it just wasn't
gotcha.
enough. Like everyone was still boiling. So now we have a big misting sculpture
Wow.
from one of these companies
Yeah.
that I was really familiar growing up, visiting there, seeing all this public art. I think immediately, it's the the city who does this. It must
Right.
be the city who does this.
Right.
But it's improvement districts.
Wow, that's amazing.
Um,
Do you guys work alongside? I'm on the board of. Wow, I'm drawing a blank of the tourist group for
Discover Central
Yes,
Mass.
yeah.
We work with them a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they do a lot of in-kind sponsorships for us for our events.
Right.
So they've done movies on the Common, Out to Lunch, our winter festival. They help by getting the word out, because all of our events are free and open to the public and family friendly. So it's just great things to be able to come and do. Our Art to Lunch festival actually starts tomorrow.
Nice.
June 18th. I don't know when this is. You're gonna hear this,
Yeah.
but June 18th, and it's every Wednesday for 10 weeks.
Oh, it's amazing. Downtown.
Downtown in the Common,
Yeah.
and fortunately this year I was able to secure a grant, $100,000 grant.
Let's clap that up. Nice work.
Which drastically increased our budget for it. So we were able to kind of level everything up this year. We were able to do a lot more recruitment for the farmers market aspect. So now we have like a full grocery store there every Wednesday.
Wow.
Just huge variety of vendors, anything you can think of that you need to stock your fridge with. And then same with artisan vendors, really amazing art vendors every week. And then we were able to level up our production, so we have a bigger stage, and therefore are able to get more international and national touring acts this year. That would sell out a lot of the places around here if we were to, sell tickets. So being able to come and see them for free outside is going to be super fun.
You mentioned every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Was
Yep.
this? Did you guys have this last year too?
So I think it's the 16th year.
Really?
But this is the first. I would say this is the first full year that our organization, the Downtown Worcester bid, took it over from the city of Worcester.
Oh, okay.
So we were kind of in a training session the last couple years because it had been going on for so long. It's such a big production that the city was really working hand in hand with us to just kind of train us on how it goes operationally. But this year we fully took it on, got the grant, programmed it, advertising, we rebranded a bit. So this year is really its first year under us. While the city is the presenting sponsor.
Right.
It's their, it's still part of their project. We're the ones really operating and programming it.
That's amazing. Every Wednesday, what time?
11 to 3 p.m.
Very nice.
So out to lunch.
Yeah, makes sense.
Go get some lunch, listen to amazing music,
Yeah.
Bring a cooler bag and stock your fridge with the local farmers.
Yeah.
If you need to buy a gift or there's some incredible stuff to buy there. Yeah, it's going to be really good.
That's what's up. You gotta make it, Rayvon.
No, yeah, I know. Wednesday's perfect timing for me, honestly.
Oh, great.
Yeah, take me
Yeah.
out the office.
It's incredible. It's such an incredible event. I really enjoyed it working it the last few years, and I'm even more excited for it this year.
Are you guys doing? I know we had sponsored, and this is where I was confusing it, but I feel like it was Saturdays near the
Yep.
Glass Building, and that was more summertime though.
So yeah, my first year I did a new event called Saturday Mercado,
Yep.
and that's what you guys sponsored. It
Yeah.
was super fun. The Glass Tower Park had never been activated before, so that
Right.
was our first time really showcasing that particular area. And it's such a beautiful little park, got huge old trees.
Yes. Yeah.
It was always 10 degrees cooler under there than everywhere else, so it was a hot summer, but it felt great under there.
I know. Plus, probably the casting shadow from the building too,
Yeah, exactly.
because it is. I think it's not maybe the second tallest building or first.
It's the tallest building
It
in
is the
Worcester.
tallest, yeah.
There was a weird wind tunnel under there though, and it would like randomly just take people's stuff up in the air.
Oh my goodness. No.
We figured that out after the first couple, not to put vendors in this one particular strip.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But because of the construction this year, we didn't continue it in that location.
Gotcha.
And for me, the programming of that event was specific to that location. So we took a little bit of a break this year, and we're all hands on deck this year for event-wise on to Out to Lunch because of the grant and because it's our first year really amping it up. But we also are now assisting with programming the City Square Park, which is in our district. It's right across from the AC Hotel.
Oh,
It's
yeah. I feel like you guys did something there.
Last year was
You did, didn't
the
you?
brewery.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm thinking of.
67 degrees.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
So they were looking for a place to do an outdoor brewery in
Yeah,
Worcester, and we basically have access to that space to help anyone who wants to do something there. They come to us. We help them get the permits. We help them navigate setup and help them advertise. So 67 Brewing was there last year. This year, we're highly encouraging bigger events. So far, we have a lot of different festivals interested, but we have one actually all permitted. August 17th through 19th, it's called Higher Education Festival, and it's a reggae festival.
At that spot on First
At that
Street?
spot.
Wow.
Yep, so it's outdoors. It's a ticketed event, but you're obviously going to see and hear it if you're downtown.
Right. What's the date?
August 15th through 17th.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it'll be, and I just heard actually the Common too has a ticketed Brazilian festival happening on the Common next weekend. So this will be the year of ticketed festivals in our district, which I think will be really cool. It'll draw thousands of people, support all the businesses around there, and just really showcase what you can do in these locations.
Does an outdoor location or space also have like a capacity limit as like a indoor? So yeah.
Yeah, the typical standard is 5 square foot per person. So you just,
Both indoor and outdoor sounds like.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, because it's a matter of having space to escape should there be
Right.
an issue.
Right. So that which is the largest park in Worcester that you guys is in your district?
I think the
Probably.
Common's a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Right
but
outside City.
I had heard the Common capacity was 10,000.
Yeah.
And the Brazilian festival probably hit it because
Yeah.
I believe they sold out the Palladium outdoors last year.
Someone told me that recently, actually.
Yeah.
Someone was like, bro, this kid I know from the Y, he was like, bro, you got to sponsor or get a table at this Brazilian festival. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? But
Oh, yeah,
this was like weeks ago he told me about it.
The promoters that have been doing the Brazilian music in downtown with the Palladium the last few years
Right.
just do such a great job.
Right.
Amazing music, huge. I mean, they just tell everyone knows.
Right.
It's like they get the word out.
Is the Palladium in your guys' district?
It's just outside.
Just outside, right?
Yeah. But we still support
For sure.
the venues even if they're outside our district
Yeah.
because obviously our district benefits from it
Right.
still.
Right. Absolutely.
But it's that previously to the business improvement district, it started as a TDI district called the theater district,
Yeah.
and that's what formed the bid. And so I still really think that's our biggest selling point.
Right.
Is downtown has so many incredible venues.
Right.
I mean, all in one walkable location is quite rare. It's
Right.
like you only really see that in really major cities.
Right.
So, all within a 10-minute walk, you have Hanover Theater, Mechanics Hall, the Palladium, the JMac.
JMac. Oh, that place is beautiful, dude.
And so it just and Tuckerman Hall is right there.
Which one is it? Tuckerman?
It's
On Main Street?
it's on Main Street. It's more in that square where the auditorium that they're trying to renovate is.
Oh, yeah.
And then the DCU Center, of course. So all those different places, all so close to each other. I mean, that's a huge draw.
Right. Wow. Victoria knows her way around here, man. Rayvon's like lost in the sauce right now.
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. Very good. So this is gonna be a little shorter because we went a little longer. So. All right.
All right, welcome back. This is Infused Influence. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rayvon. Got my co-host Ulysses with us.
What up?
Along with our special guest, Victoria. If you missed the first half of the episode, just before the commercial break, Victoria was listing a bunch of places, and to me, a lot of it sounded like names. I do know a handful of them, though. JMac, Hanover Theater.
Yeah,
I
Palladium, bro.
The area,
You know the Palladium. Yeah.
Palladium was probably the first thing that ever brought me out to Worcester, was going to a concert at the Palladium.
Who was it?
Tyler, the Creator.
Yo, that's
like
Nice.
2018, 2019, like years ago.
Yeah.
I remember thinking things about Worcester back then, and just having to drive an hour. And yeah, it was an interesting thing for me back then. But this isn't about me. And just talking more about the event spaces and how there's just so much to do here in downtown Worcester. Do we get a lot of tourists here in Worcester?
That would be more of a board Discover Central Mass board member question.
We do though. The answer is yes.
I do think so. Yeah, we do. On average per month in our district, we get about 200 and close to 250 visits a month. Who's who from visitors to workers? I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say it's probably about half.
Yeah.
So at least in our district, that we probably get at least 100,000 visitors a month.
Yeah.
What I learned from being on the board is they look at anyone that's, I think it's 30 miles or 30 minutes is considered a tourist. So someone coming from Springfield to stay is considered, even though it's in state. You know what I mean? And of course, the way that it's looked like per capita, obviously Boston's massive metropolitan city or a major city, I should say, and then like everything else lines up. Like obviously Boston's got a ton of hotels, and then like we're number 2 because it's the second largest city in New England. You know what I mean? So like everything lines up to like the way it should be, I think. You know what I mean? But plus, like when you and I moved here, I think the population in Worcester was probably like 150, 170.
Yeah, it's definitely increased a lot.
Grown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's grown, and it's just kind of crazy to see, over time. So yeah, not only is it tourists, but people, young talent like yourself, Rayvon, moving to the city.
I hear more and more people moving here separate of the school
Yes.
system, and I think that's great.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Says we're doing something right.
Yeah. Like what's the name of the organization again?
The Downtown Worcester Business Improvement District. The easier way is the BID.
The BID, yes. The
Yeah.
BID.
The BID,
So,
yeah.
so organizations like the BID and Electric Haze bring people in, keep them here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think quality of life is huge. You obviously you need a job and a place to stay, but the next thing people look to is, what am I going to do?
Right.
Am I going to enjoy living here? Am I going to be able to meet people that I get along with? And that's what public events and venues and social bars like Electric Haze do. And it's super important, I think, the public event factor, because you don't want to rely on tourists coming just for paid events every time. Like the free public events is so important, especially for tourists trying to get tourists to stay longer. Because if they're just coming to the Palladium and leaving, they may not even get a hotel.
Yeah.
But if there was this amazing free event the next day after a Palladium show, you'd
Right.
probably get a hotel and
Yeah.
hang out after the next day too, instead of just an hour there and back.
Just leaving, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, a lot of what I'm trying to do with the programming at the bid is to partner with venues to like get the word out about each other's stuff at once. So our Winter Festival is one of our signature events, and so I call it Winter Festival Weekend now, and our advertising and with Discover Central Mass. So the Palladium will do a show that's included in Winter Festival. Mechanics Hall or the Hanover Theater will have some special program. The JMAC will have some special program on top of our Winter Festival. So then people can be encouraged to stay the whole weekend.
Right, right.
And then there's like different deals at restaurants and bars, like a specialty cocktail or a discount on food. So it just encourages them to visit other places too. But yeah, no, I think there's a huge need for more tourism here.
Yeah.
I talked to a lot of retail places in Boston, and more than half of their sales are tourism.
Right, right.
And I would say that's probably like, I don't know, I could be throwing this at I'm throwing a dart at a board right now, but I
Right.
feel like it's maybe 5%
Yeah,
here. It can't be.
yeah.
I don't think it's very much here at all.
Yeah, I was thinking definitely
Yeah.
10, sub 10, you know what I mean?
Is that how you feel for Major Bloom?
Yeah, yeah, because we get a lot of people that do pass through that are going to, let's just say, Maine or coming down from Maine and going to New York. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where we're right off the highway, and we definitely see the increased traffic from people outside the state during the summertime when people are commuting or traveling a little bit more. You know what I mean? But it kind of opened up my eyes, especially because of the data that we have, and you can see that like, all right, most of the people that shop with us live in the neighborhood, but then there's just thousands of people. You know what I'm talking about, like heat map
Yeah.
on Alpine IQ from all over the East Coast. You know what
Wow.
I mean? And it's just kind of cool to see. So it definitely opened my eyes, especially working with Discover Central Mass about like ways to get people here and keep them here. You know what I mean? So, but you brought up something about I think food in restaurants. What are some of your favorite restaurants in the district that are down there?
Gosh, they're all so good.
Yeah.
But I think like my go-to lunch places are the Shawarma Palace
Shawarma.
or the Theater Cafe. Theater Cafe is right. It's like very close to the Hanover Theater. And it's a husband and wife team in there, and it looks like there's some industrial equipment in there, but overall it kind of looks like a normal kitchen.
Wow.
It's very homey in there.
Yeah.
But the food is just phenomenal.
What side is it on? The same side as the
as
theater?
Hanover. Yeah.
Is it before or after?
If you're coming from the Palladium, it's
Right.
before.
We're coming from the plate. Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
I love breakfast spots.
Oh, breakfast, lunch, dinner, they
Oh,
have it
really?
all. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yep,
cool, cool.
but their food is incredible, and they have a little bit of everything. Like, he does some international stuff, but then he has your kind of traditional American, and I don't know, it's amazing. And he does catering too, and the catering is always on point.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I love the Theater Cafe. And then dinner, really lunch too, but shasu.
Shasu.
Shasu is like a Japanese blended. They have like ramen and sushi, and then kind of specialty entrees.
Wait, what was the first one you mentioned?
Shasu?
It was Shasu, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking that you named something different.
Oh no, that place
Yeah.
is amazing. If you haven't been, you definitely
No, I
gotta
have.
try
I
that.
have.
You have,
I
okay.
Yeah. I have. It's the same guy that owns Faux Show, I think.
Yes.
It is. Yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely frequent there more with my kids.
Oh, yeah.
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 I think Shasu is a little bit more like upscale than Faux Show.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right. Like, yeah, Faux
Um,
Show's a little family friendly.
Yep. But there's just so many other great places. I mean, Ziggy Bombs is just so
Ziggy's,
fun.
yeah,
You know, such
yeah.
a great business model and
Yeah.
awesome advertising
Oh, my
and
goodness.
great subs.
Yeah.
And then you have a couple of the staple
Is Beer Garden?
110 Grill
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah.
Ruth's
Fuel.
Steakhouse and Fuel.
Feels
so.
pretty good. Yeah.
And then you have some really great outdoor dining places. The Mercantile, where
Yep.
you got the rooftop thing there,
Yeah.
and then the Cocktail Garden, which used to be the Beer Garden. It has that big
Yes.
outdoor area.
Okay. All right. I was just
new
gonna ask what
management now, and
happened.
they switched it from beer to cocktail.
Oh, no doubt.
And it's a Brazilian food menu.
No way.
It's really good.
I bet it is.
Yeah, and they do a great job there. Honestly, amazing customer service, great cocktails. They have beer still too, obviously, but
Yeah.
not the focus anymore.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing.
But it's really good there, and they do a bunch of awesome events there as well. They have like a really incredible drag brunch there.
Oh my goodness.
That sells out.
Yeah.
They do a huge business.
Oh, I believe it. Because anytime Electric Haze has drag shows, it is mayhem in the streets, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, between that and WWE,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, yo,
Yeah.
Victoria's got the streets going wild, dude. Like parking all the way down.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
when there's an event at Hayes, dude.
Yeah.
And those are two of the prominent ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
One of our neighbors asked us if we could switch the line in a different direction for wrestling because it always blocked her door. And I'm
Oh.
like, that's such an. I never expected a neighbor to get mad about like having a line.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
To me, it's like, oh, cool. There's customers looking at my sign.
who was
you know?
it, the massage?
Yeah.
Massage lady? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's
But I'm
fine.
like,
Did you switch it and go around the
well,
block?
we couldn't because while everyone's waiting in line, the wrestlers are
exit.
loading in the other door.
Yeah.
Because they have to set up the entire ring before
Right.
the show.
Right.
So,
Dude, it's so cool to see, man. It's just like a whole nother culture, like.
yeah, it is.
And for me, like, I loved, like, it's cool to know in advance, but it's even better to know, like, just from being here and watching it all come together. Because I see the wrestlers coming here throughout the day. And, like, you know, they're moving equipment through the back and stuff. And I'm like, oh, there must be a show tonight. This is fucking, you know? And then all of a sudden, when the sun comes down, streets are crazy. You know? So, who came up with that concept?
The Beyond Wrestling producer there, Drew, he's just been doing it for so long, and he's
Right.
just been killing it.
Right.
And
So is he
it's-
with you, or he was like,
No.
oh, Hayes would be a dope spot to do it?
Yeah, he had been doing it in other places pre-Haze, but he came to us, I want to say it was like 2016.
Wow.
And we had it going on for over a year every week
Right.
for a long time. And then the city of Worcester made us get some extra permit.
Which permit?
We had to add on to the entertainment permit, but I had to get a freaking architect in.
Oh, because of the stage?
And to recalculate stuff. And so we had to cancel for a week, but Drew has this thing where it's every week.
Right.
And like, so you couldn't cancel. And so he just moved it to the White Eagle.
Right.
And then it stayed there.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Mm.
And so then it was there for a really long time.
It was like years
years and years.
Yeah.
And then White Eagle, I don't know what happened, but
Right.
he needed a new spot, and so he came back.
Wow, that's crazy. Would you ever think about doing it outside? Yeah. I bet it'd be nuts if you did it outside.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be worth trying it in the street.
Yeah, dude.
He does it outside all the time.
Yeah.
He wants to pair it with one of our public events in the Common.
Oh,
So
that
we-
would be crazy.
So I think we're gonna try to figure that out.
That'd be crazy.
I gotta figure out what event to pair it with.
Right.
But man, I don't know. Maybe one of the movies on the Common or something.
Yeah.
Some of the ones we already do.
No. that's
But
cool.
yeah, they do such a great job, and the team is so fun. Like you said, the street goes nuts.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I love walking around and see. They do a lot of videos and promo and
Right.
photography, so they'll be outside posing and saying all this fun, amping up like
I haven't seen
stuff
it.
before the shows, and it's because they use the murals as the
Right.
backdrop.
Right.
That are on Spiritual Haze, and it takes amazing photos of the wrestlers with the murals in the
Right.
backdrop.
Right.
So yeah,
That's so
you'll see
funny.
them out there with the cameras and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, no, I'll have to find them on online because for me it's really just being in the moment and seeing it come together. Like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I will definitely check it out online.
Every Thursday forever. That's what he advertises.
Really? Wait, so it is Thursday?
It's every Thursday forever.
Yeah, yeah, that's what's up. Well, yeah, we're coming up on time. We gotta clap it out for Victoria, guys. Wow, we'll have to do this again because the time went by way too fast.
It really
We
did.
didn't even talk about your weed consumption.
Time flies when you're having fun, bro.
Yo, it does. So I think we should do a segment for our internet watchers here, but for the radio, we'll have to let you guys go just because of the time block. But I do have another question for you, and we'll pick it back up with our live streaming here if that's cool. So, Victoria, thanks again. Clap it up. And you guys have just been infused. Peace. All right. So we're still going on the internet here. We are still going on the internet. So we usually Uh-oh. Why is it being weird again? Some technical difficulties here. There we go. All right, so I was gonna say that we usually ask people. Rayvon knows what I'm getting at here.
Their first time smoking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, so yeah. if you
So
can
my
tell us
first
this-
time smoking.
Yeah,
I was 14.
That's what's up. Okay.
And in Albany, we were all super into blunts.
Yes. Dutches.
Dutches.
Yes.
That's right.
See, we came from the
Yeah.
same era, bro.
Yep.
What'd you say?
Sad era.
Yes.
Yeah.
This kid bro's like a psychopath. Oh. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I used to love rolling blunts. Honestly, I thought it was so fun.
Yeah.
Using the leaf and
Yes.
that whole process. It was just like cathartic.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I want to say the first time I smoked, I really didn't get high. I think that's kind of typical for people. At least it was back then when weed wasn't supercharged like it is now.
She said supercharged. Yo, that's great.
It's like weed back then compared to weed now. It's two different things.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just unbelievable
Yeah.
the differences.
Yeah.
It was like, it was so much lighter. I think
Right.
because man, I used to smoke before I go to school. Before I went to school, we'd smoke on lunch breaks.
Yeah.
I mean, we smoked all the time. It's like it was
Can't
just
do that now.
it was nonstop, and it didn't affect anything. Like I'd still get straight A's. Like
Right,
it had no impact on anything for school or home or anything like that. And while my parents didn't know back then, they couldn't tell.
Yeah. Your parents smoke weed?
No, definitely not.
I don't know why I feel like your parents do.
Nope.
But
I don't think. Well, my mom tried it a few times. Dad never tried it. Never will.
Yeah.
Continues to tell me the dangers of it. I'm like,
That's so interesting.
Dad, it's medicine now. Get
Yeah,
over it.
it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
So how did you get your hands on it at 14? Was it an older sibling or cousins, people in the neighborhood, friends?
So yeah, one of our good friends, his good friend had a farm, and so we always went right to the farm.
Oh my goodness. That's sick.
Yeah.
And like pick the weed?
Well, they would pick it for us, but we were able to just buy it right from the farm.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, so I was always really lucky with it. I always had like a really direct, fresh source.
Right.
There was never any weird cartel weed.
Oh my goodness.
I remember seeing it back then.
Yeah.
But like we didn't need it. Like
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
the fresh outdoor stuff.
You're like, I should look sprayed, bro.
And then what was
Smell sprayed.
We called all the indoor bud was called kind bud.
Oh my goodness.
Everything, it was either outdoor or kind bud.
Right. Right.
And once in a while we'd get that, but it was so much more, and it wasn't like the outdoor stuff was great.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it was just everything was organic. You know, and
So to this day, do you prefer outdoor buds more than indoor?
I would say like feeling wise, yeah. I think I still like it, like not as powerful, if you will. Like
Right.
still like to be able to function on it. I think the only time that I'll really enjoy indoor is if I'm drunk already. It's like you kind of need the strong stuff in order to feel it, because otherwise the alcohol's gonna mask it.
Oh my goodness.
But no, I love all the different flavors, and I mean just incredibly different smells now. I mean
Right.
just from one strain to another, like you can tell by smelling it.
Right.
Like it's pretty incredible the science behind it now
Oh
with
my
the
goodness.
strains. And if I knew that I was playing that game, I would have had 100 flavors for you. But I got
Next
caught
time.
off guard.
Next time. No, we should have gave you the heads up. But no, that's great. Yeah, it's typically a question that we ask everybody their first time experience, and then even the parents and like how they feel about it. And that leads me to ask, like, how did your parents feel about your entrepreneurship journey during college, and like, you know, going on to own a bar too? Right?
Yeah. I
They're
think
supportive of it.
they've always been super supportive of my businesses, and yeah, absolutely. They're just the most supportive parents.
That's what's up.
Definitely heard a lot about being nervous about being in the hookah lounge, and I hope I'm not smoking too much and whatever. But
yeah.
you know, just all support for sure.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to your parents. They did a great job.
Aw.
Yeah, for sure.
They're the best.
Oh, no, for sure. Well, yeah, that concludes our segment. We appreciate it for our listeners online and those tuning in. If you guys don't know about Electric Haze, because obviously this is like a global thing, but come to Worcester, come check it out. We're in the same, we're a block away, right? Yeah, just about a
Yeah,
block.
exactly.
We
Very
should-
close.
We should start our own bid here.
Yeah, that actually, there was a meeting on that actually.
Really?
One of the candidates for city council was pushing it.
Oh my
There was a
goodness.
meeting. I couldn't go actually. I
Yeah.
already had prior engagements, but
Yeah. Who's
they,
our
they are
which,
discussing it.
which counselor?
Rob Bellata.
I think he was here for the mayor's walk last week.
Yeah,
He
I think
yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy. And yeah, I mean, there's it's an interesting subject for sure.
Yeah. No. Very good. All right. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you guys. You've just been infused online as well. We'll clap it up for Victoria. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace. Nice work.